I think we're at the point to where many Laker fans are undervaluing Austin Reaves. Yes, he had a fairly underwhelming playoff performance, only a 5-game stretch in which he was playing hurt, by the way. Didn't play that well, neither offensively or defensively. Even for him, that's 16 points per game on 42% field goal shooting. Not great for himself, but that might actually be decent for a different player. But for many fans, they don't want to pay him next summer either because of that, either the fit concern between him and Luka Doncic, which in my opinion is not really a big concern. In fact, they were actually one of the best two-man combinations post-trade deadline for the Lakers last season. And yes, the net rating and overall stats will support that. But many fans don't think the Lakers should pay him, don't maybe want to pay him what reports say that he might get, which according to a new report from ESPN, could be 30 plus million per year. And well, that immediately makes many fans freak out, saying that he's not worth that, not even worth half of that. And yes, I've literally seen some people say that. And I'm not sure that many fans realize what a max contract is nowadays, what other players that are not as good as Austin Reaves are making, and that he can actually be worth that price and potentially even a little bit more than that if they put the right players around both him and Luka Doncic going forward. Which, according to that ESPN report, is the expectation around the NBA, saying that many believe that he'll get 30 million plus on that new contract, and that it will likely be from Los Angeles, cementing him as the long-term running mate with Luka Doncic going forward. And well, upon hearing that, I've seen many Laker fans freaking out about it, again saying that Reaves is not worth it, the fit won't be good between him and Luka Doncic, which again I don't believe and am not backing up here, and that it wouldn't be the good long-term plan for their team to make. So with that in mind here, we're going to talk about why it could be worth it, why it's definitely not as bad as many fans are saying, the price and outlook for both Austin Reaves and the Lakers going forward, and what decision they likely will come down to here with it. And well, to begin, I think a good starting point would be comparing that potential Austin Reaves salary price, again roughly 30 million per year, to other players around the NBA that are currently making that salary per year. And well, if we take a look at that, we'd be looking at guys like Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Johnson, CJ McCollum, Porzingis, Tyler Hero, DeJounte Murray, Jordan Poole, Jeremy Grant, even Chris Middleton and Emmanuel Quickley. And between the guys I mentioned, I'd maybe take one of them over Austin Reaves. So if you're worried about him making 30 to even 33 million per year, there's not many guys that are currently making that are better than him. So if that's what you're worried about, I think it's not really a big deal. I think you might be overreacting to it and thinking that players that are currently making that amount are better than they actually are. I mean, come on now. Are you really going to take guys like Jeremy Grant, DeJounte Murray coming off a torn Achilles, even somebody like CJ McCollum over Austin Reaves long term? Not even factoring in the price, but the age, the fit, the upside, the current production level, I don't think you would. And to even get to a player that I would definitely take over Austin Reaves, we'd have to talk about guys that are making roughly 35 million per year, guys that are under rookie contract extensions or have taken massive discounts to their team, guys like Alperen Sengun, who's under a max contract extension for a rookie, making roughly 34 million next year, or somebody that again took a massive discount like Jalen Brunson, somebody like Jaren Jackson, or somebody at that level that definitely should be making that amount, if not more than that amount. That's what it would take for me to take them over Austin Reaves at that price. So again, if we're talking about Reaves making 30 million per year, or roughly that amount, I think he definitely could be worth it. And then transferring that or relating it to a max contract level, if we're talking about the year that Reaves would get that contract, which will be in the 2026-27 NBA season, we got guys like Steph Curry making more than double that amount, having a $62.5 million salary for that season alone. And at that point, other guys are going to be signing deals that give them roughly 70 million per year. So if we're talking about Reaves making 30 million per year, that's not even half what they're making, not even about 20% of the team's salary cap at that point. So yes, they could and would be able to put a good team around him and Luka Doncic. Whether that means Reaves being their second, third, fourth option, I don't really care at that point, and I think he still would be worth that contract. Yes, it would obviously be more than what he's currently making, only about 15 million next year, that's about double that amount. But if you're comparing it to guys that are currently making that level and their current production level, guys that are going to be making double of what he's making, I think Austin Reaves is worth at least half of what a player like that's making, or comparable to what, again, current players are making at that level, who simply are not worth it in my opinion. Now I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he'll be the most valuable player in the league at that price, much like he currently is in contention for at his current price, but I still think he would be worth it. I mean, yeah, I'd obviously take a guy like Trey Murphy III over him, Jade McDaniels over him, even can make an argument for somebody making slightly more again like Aaron Gordon. At that point, yes, I'd take them over him, talking more about two-way players rather than a one-way player, sometimes two-way player, but not very often like Austin Reaves. But overall, I still think he would be worth it. Comparing it to guys that are not worth that price that Reaves is better than, simply production-wise, future, fit, whatever you want to talk about, I think you can point to that $30 million per year kind of price for him. Even if it would be slightly more at 32 to 33, I still think he would be worth it. Again, that might be a bit controversial, might not be the narrative that many fans are pushing or choosing to believe with him, but if you take into consideration the players that are making that price, Reaves' current production level, yes, he did have a fairly underwhelming playoff performance again, but finding a guy that averages roughly 25 and 6, and yes, he did put that up last season, shooting about 38% from the three-point line, can play on the ball, can play off the ball, be a combo guard, point guard at times, be a very efficient player around the rim. I think he definitely will be or could be worth it. Then factor in the age with him, only just turning 27 years old, and that does fit the Luka Doncic time frame. Then factor in Luka liking playing with Austin, him openly saying that and really showing it on the court too. Reaves still getting better yet. Yes, he continues to show it every year, whether you're talking about points per game, playmaking ability, efficiency. Year by year, he has been showing improvement and has yet to his ceiling yet. So factoring in all that in here, factoring in the other players' prices around the league, comparing it to that, I think he is worth it, and you really can't argue against it if you factor in all the variables. I mean, let me put it this way. Even with Reaves making roughly $30 million per year on their payroll, and the new Luka Doncic contract kicking in, they still have room for a max contract with them after that point. In 2026-27, Luka will be making roughly $48 million that year, even with Reaves factored in to be making $30 million rather than the $14.8 million they projected with that player option. They still have room for a max contract after that point. Again, you can make the argument that you'd rather have a different player at that price, but you can make the argument that Reaves is not worth that price. That wouldn't be telling the truth and, again, not factoring in all the variables here in my opinion. But with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the new reports saying that Reaves will likely get $30 million plus per year going forward, that he'll likely be the running mate with Luka Doncic going forward, and how do you feel about their payroll with the updated Reaves price, the flexibility of their team going forward, and what they can or will do with both their team and Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves going forward? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.